choice. Want to go back to our Rays of Light guru, Marcus Ray. So, Marcus, I asked you before we went to the break about backing teams off. Obviously, Michigan is, they're at a point now where teams are daring them to throw the football. They kind of load up on them, don't respect their ability to get deep. We know they have some protection issues. The quarterback, whoever he might be, has had some issues as well. With Shane, it would be inexperience. How do you get some more explosiveness into the arsenal? How do you back teams off when you have the kinds of issues that Michigan has?
Well, number one, if you want anything explosive to happen, then you better have some TNT, and that's called toughness and talent. You better be tough up front, and you better have the talent to go vertical. But one of the things that you can do is line up in an I formation and run the ball effectively. I mean, make a commitment to it, even if you end up on 3rd and 6. Okay, you force teams to put 8, sometimes 9 in the box. That's going to force you one-on-one matchups. Michigan's not good enough to spread it out and run all these play-action passes and protect with 5 and 6 guys, which leads to my next point. You can line up in 2 tight ends, or you can line up in an I formation, and you can max protect. You can keep both running backs in. You can keep your tight end in the game, and now you're sending guys vertical with one-on-one matchups in the back end. You can do that, okay? So if you want to protect your quarterback, you think the line's not giving them enough time, you keep 3 more guys in, a tight end and 2 running backs, and send guys vertical. That's going to loosen up the defense, and then that's going to allow you. Then now they can't sit in that 8-9-man front. Now they have to get into a 7-man front, all right, or some type of 6-man box with like a 4-4 defense with 2 guys overhanging, and you run it up the middle, or you can throw it vertical. That's what you can do as far as that. But I'm starting to question. If it's, I'm not going to trash the coaches, but I'm going to say this. I don't know if some of these players can do what they've been coached to do. That makes any sense. If they have what it takes. We know Fred Jackson has proven. And sometimes there are cuts and holes that I don't know if Derek Green can make. I've never seen a Michigan running back get hit in the open field by a safety and picked up and funk dunked all in the same motion. I've just never seen that before. And when you're a great player, coaching or not, you show flashes of greatness. You show. Coaches don't play for you. When Charles Woodson first got on the field, he wasn't very well coached. He was a good athlete, but he showed flashes. Okay, this guy might have something. But then when Vance really put his hands on Charles, he polished him off. Then that's when he became who he was. But you have to be who you are. At least show us something. And my point is, a Michigan running back should never, under any circumstances, get hit in the open field by safety and get funk dunked. That's just not how it goes. You run him over. That has nothing to do with coaching. I'm sure Fred teaches to lower your shoulders, make a move, don't let a guy get under your pads. And if you don't do it, then it's on you. But that's how Michigan can go vertical, max protect, line up in an I formation, make a commitment to the run, help your offensive line out by keeping more guys in to protect the quarterback, throw it up deep in your one-on-one matchups.
All right, quarterback. Obviously, that Devin, after the after that last interception, where it seemed pretty clear that mentally, the pressure had gotten to him at that point, and now they're talking about in this week in practice that job being open. I think there is a very strong chance. Very, very strong chance that they wind up switching quarterbacks. The issue is, though, Marcus, as much as that might be warranted, am I wrong in saying that's just one of the issues that the offense faces, that there are many more issues at play that they've experienced thus far this season, many more issues beside the quarterback?
I tell you what, trying to fix Michigan's offense is like walking into your house after somebody broke into it and the whole house is messed up. Which room do you clean up first? Is it the kitchen? Is it where you sleep? Is it where is it the bathroom? Is it where your kids sleep? And quarterback, for me, if you start to itemize and prioritize Michigan's offensive issues, in my opinion, quarterback is the last place you start, because that offensive line in the run game is not good enough. And Devin, to his credit, has played behind the worst offensive line play I've seen in 30 years of Michigan football. So why do you think Shane ain't getting in there lighting it up? Because it ain't the guy. It's the guys in front of him. That left tackle freshman, Mason Cole, bless his heart, he's not ready to go. He's not. That right tackle, Ben Braden, he got beat like a drum a few times for several weeks. All right? So to Devin's credit, first of all, Devin's not making all the right throws. He throws the ball to people. But Devin Funchess, after he got his face ripped off across the middle, didn't make an attempt to catch that first interception. Stuck his hand out. He didn't really want it. But when you got the number 1 jersey on, you go get that. Okay? There's no fear. Now, that ball got tipped. Boom. Here come the Boo Birds. All right? Why was Shane running for his life when he was in the game? Almost gave up a safety. Oh, so to me, at quarterback, that's the last thing you want to talk about. Shane was 4 for 13, 42 yards, an interception, got sacked, lost the fumble. Devin Gardner, 148 yards, 2 interceptions, sacked 3 times. That's an offensive line problem. Devin Gardner, I feel sorry for Devin because we really don't know how good he could have been here at Michigan. Because if I think the hand he was dealt in his last 2 years up front was unfair. And now everybody wants to blame him or look to make a change. Why isn't nobody talking about this offensive line making any changes? That's where it starts. You put your best 5 up front and you run the ball, and then I'll come play quarterback for you. Then you can stick anybody in there. But think where Michigan went wrong is when they didn't put Devin Gardner at quarterback 2 years ago, and you put Russell Bellamy in there, you would have been in Indianapolis. And ever since then, Devin Gardner really ain't been the same. Because we never would have known how good he could have been. So I don't really care who you put at quarterback. Okay, at this point, you can bring back Nick Sheridan. You can put Shoelace. You can put John Navarre. Put Tom Brady back there. He's going to run for his life. He may throw a better ball, but he ain't going to be able to get away from that pressure. So for me, if you're going to talk quarterback change, we got to talk offensive line change. That's the only thing that makes sense to me because I've defended Devin, but I've also criticized Devin. I've given Shane credit, but I've criticized Shane. But I don't care who you stick back there. If your 2 tackles on the end can't block athletes and deal with movement across their face, then both quarterbacks are going to run for their lives. And there's a boy named De'Aaron Cochran that plays for Minnesota. I wouldn't be surprised if he had 3 sacks. Why do you think Randy Gregory went off last year? Why do you think Shariq Calhoun and the boys went off last year? So to me, it's up front. If they gave him time, or if Nussmeier kept more guys in, I guarantee you the quarterback position will have more production. Now they're just throwing the ball up, running for their lives. Devin Gardner has played behind the worst 2 offensive lines in the history of Michigan football. Can't run the ball against competition and can't protect the quarterback against athletes, and that's why you have problems at the quarterback. They have a great offensive coordinator. I like what he does. But why do you think Nussmeier does play action so much? Because he has to keep the defense off balance, to slow down the rush, misdirection, print out, move the pocket, all of that. But if you had some dogs up front, you could drop back, 3-step drop, 5-step drop, match protect, and the offense will make more plays.
All right, well, good stuff, Marcus. I think that took up the entire segment. Just tell me, look ahead to the Minnesota game and kind of handicap it for me. As far as offense and defense, what is Michigan going to see in that game, and what do you expect? How do you expect them to come out?
Michigan is going to see 50 to 60 run plays. Minnesota only threw it 7 times, completed 1 pass last week. Minnesota's offense, their passing game is not very good. So you're going to see strength versus strength. Michigan is a great run-stopping defense versus a team that wants to run the ball every play. So who's going to impose whose will? My thing is, I think Michigan's offense is going to put it together finally. And the sad part is, whoever's that quarterback, if Shane's that quarterback, he'll get a lot of credit. If Devin's that quarterback and the offense looks good, the natives will still be calling for his head. So Michigan should win this game, I think, because they're a better football team than Minnesota. And it's going to come down to toughness up front in the trenches. Jerry Kill, his teams are pretty tough. They're not talented, but they're awfully tough. So I expect Michigan to come out, have more success running the ball, though, a little more. And I think whoever's at quarterback is going to have a pretty good game against Minnesota. But the only thing you better watch out for is these Golden Gophers. They create a lot of turnovers. I think they lead the Big Ten with 13 turnovers, and also they're +4 in the turnover margin. So obviously that's been Michigan's weakness. So it's Minnesota's turnover, ability to create turnovers and run the ball versus Michigan's lack of creating turnovers and turning it over and lack of running the ball. But I think overall, to a man, Michigan is better, and then they should keep the little brown jug. But the sad part is, all is not going to be better when they win, and then whoever gets the W at quarterback, everybody's going to call for him to stay in the game. I expect Michigan to win.
All right, Marcus Ray, fired up. We will talk to you. We will talk to you.
Hey, Sam, I hope they learned something today, baby.
Hey, absolutely. We're going to have to change the intro music, man. But appreciate your time and insight. We'll talk to you again next week.